Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Uh, Welcome to another success story. Today we have Sanchita Sharma with us. Sanchita Sharma carries an experience of close to 5 years and is currently working as a delivery manager with one of the MNC. Welcome to the success story session, Sanchita.
Thank you, Anusha.
All right. So before we start, Sanchita, can I have a quick introduction?
So yeah, I've completed my BTech, post that I've done my MBA. After that, I've been working as a delivery manager with an FMCG client for that matter. And it has been quite a tenure of 2.5 years in the current company I am in. And probably the entire thing revolves around delivery. That's it.
All right, thank you. So, Sanjita, before we walk ahead, are you a PMP certified professional?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So, when did you do your PMP certification?
I completed it almost a month back.
Okay. All right. So, why did you decide to go for PMP certification?
So basically, throughout my tenure after I did my MBA, after I completed my MBA, I've been in this role of delivery manager itself, right? Wherein we have to deal with the entire project delivery, starting from the initiation phase of, say, your BRDs, and then coming upon to the final delivery portion, wherein you hand over the entire project to the support team, right? So there are different phases to it, and it is very much a PMP certification, which is globally identified for that matter, is augmenting my career in that aspect. And moreover, if you talk about going ahead in the corporate ladder, this is one thing that would enhance my career goals and also help me enhance to the further levels. And that's the reason I decided to go for PMP.
So very well said on that part where you wanted to understand the phases of your project cycle, and that was to understand the basic knowledge of project management. That was the sole reason
Yeah.
you started with PMP certification. Okay. So, how did you plan your PMP preparation?
So, I mean, that was the difficult part, right? Coming on to that, wherein you are working probably and into a grueling project with supply chain with an FMCG brand. So, it consumes almost more than at times more than 50% of your time, right? So you have to prepare a schedule, right? Wherein you have to dedicatedly work on that schedule and study according to that for almost 2 to 3 hours a day, right? And this entire schedule lasts for me, it lasted for 3 months, 3 to 4 months, right? And but yeah, maybe the zeal of doing it through and the perseverance, that is something that is really helpful in this entire journey. And if you want to differentiate yourself from other professionals, then you definitely need to have an edge over it.
Yeah, definitely. So PMP gives you that edge over other professionals or the
Definitely,
non-certified professionals. Definitely.
definitely.
So, how long was your PMP preparation? I mean, how much time did it take for you, assuming that you were preparing for PMP while you were working?
So if you talk about that, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, it was somewhere close to 3 to 4 months with 2 to 3 hours of preparation daily without a fail, even on Saturdays, Sundays, I must say, right? And sticking to that routine every day, that is something that really helped me. So that is
Okay,
it.
so can I say consistency and discipline is something which would help the people who are PMP aspirants. They can probably get through this certification if they are disciplined enough and if they are consistent enough, with of
I
course a
mean,
plan in place.
I mean, that's right. I couldn't have put it in a better words for that matter. That's the exact verbatim I would have used, right? So, whatever schedule you build through, right, that you have to follow religiously, no matter, even if at times the workload is more, even on weekends, at times you have to sit and study, you have to follow it. And there's no leeway to something that you want to achieve in life. So, I mean, very rightly said.
Okay. So, what was the most challenging part when you were preparing for PMP exam?
So as I told you, right, my project is very grueling, right? It starts from the BRD phase and ends at the support phase, right? So it has various phases. So definitely the phase wherein your UATs are going on, right? In that time, being a professional fully occupied, there are things going into production post that, and if something goes wrong, then you're on to calls back to back. So that was the most difficult times, wherein the work pressure is a lot and you have to stick to your routine, right? So somehow maybe you might have a few sleepless nights as well, but that is how it goes through. I mean, just take it as a goal that 3 months and you'll be done through it. I mean, that is
Okay.
challenging, balancing your work as well as something that you study, and moreover, taking out time for yourself, because else it becomes difficult to navigate through the entire.
Okay. So, if to be put into some maybe some layman terms or some simpler words, uh, the balance between the work and study was the most challenging part for you.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
basically, I know that discipline was something which you have been maintaining, and consistency was something which you've been maintaining. But weren't it, there were days you might not be able to study. There might be days when you will be able to study more. So how did you manage all of that? I mean, I'm
So, my,
sorry to, before you start, I'm really sorry, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people would want to understand because, all of us working with IT or with any of the industry for that matter, and then giving PMP exam and studying for that becomes a really difficult challenge. Maybe for folks who have their families and everything. So, how did you manage through all of that?
I mean, you're right. There are days wherein you would not get time, right? In spite of you having that schedule in place, you would not get time, even those 2 hours, right? But I think something that has worked out for me and probably can work out for anybody else, just my 2 cents there, wherein even if you get half an hour a day, just to maintain that consistency, go through it. I mean, even if it's half an hour, 20 minutes, just open your book, whatever you're doing, like whatever study material you're using for that matter, right? Just go through it even for half an hour. And the rest, 1.5, 2 hours that you might have missed on a particular day, those are something you can cover over the weekends. I mean, that is manageable. That is how you maintain a balance. But honestly speaking, never leave a day without studying in this entire preparation. Be it 15, be it 20 minutes. Consistency is something that matters. I mean, even you have put that in towards earlier. So, yeah.
Okay. So, what all materials did you refer when you were preparing for PMP exam?
So the materials that definitely simulators were something that have helped. You should take as many mocks as possible. Until the time you do not get a 90 on the mocks, do not go for PMP. Prepare thoroughly for that, right? Then PIMBOK is one thing. Then your guide, PITA. Then Malkahi is something that you can go forward with, right? So these are the study materials that are easily available and you can navigate through in your time frame and your studies.
So, PMBOK is of course, PMBOK is known as Project Manager's Bible. So, PMBOK is one. Another one is Rita Malkahi. And the third suggestion from you is go for simulators and, do as much as mock test as you can so
For sure.
that, yeah, you can get through the exam. Okay.
Hmm.
So, if I may ask, what were the do's you would want to suggest to the folks who are PMP aspirants?
I mean, very first pointer in the list would be definitely take as many mocks as possible. See the places where you're lacking. So it is whatever time you invest in a mock, it is much more important to invest a little more time as compared to that in analyzing where all you went wrong, which all questions you did wrong, right? So that you're aware about the modules that you have to go through again. And moreover, as many marks as you do, so you get much more comfortable with the look and feel of the exam as well, right? Sitting there for 240 to 70 minutes is not easy, right? So that is something you have to go through, and that's a journey altogether. That definitely mocks is something that you have to go through. Then secondly, probably whatever study material you use, right? As we earlier as was mentioned, prepare your own notes, prepare your own summary, prepare it in the form of mnemonics or whatever you feel is right, right? Whatever memorization technique that works out for you, right? That is something you should definitely prepare, because quick notes really help in the last minute preparation, right? 1 week prior to the exam, do not go through the entire study material, just have a glimpse or skim through your notes. That's it. I mean, that is something I have followed and probably might help others as well.
Okay, and I think that kind of suggestion we have got from most of the professionals. Putting things on notes, on sticky notes, maybe paper, writing it down. This helps really a lot when it comes to PMP preparation. Okay, moving forward, what are the don'ts which you want to, probably tell the folks? What should they not do if they are preparing for PMP?
If you talk about the don'ts, do not skip your study routine. Do not skip it even a single day. That is one Bible thing I'll say. Other one is practice till the time you're not achieving that score of say 90 something in the mock test. Be patient enough, study more, go through the concepts again, go through your mistakes again, and then till the time you're not achieving that benchmark of 90, do not go ahead with PMP. I mean, that was something that I followed, right? That is one thing. And that's it. And be thorough with your preparation. And probably 1 week prior to the exam, do not stress yourself. Just go through the notes and take it a little easy. That's it.
Okay. So, by the gist of the conversation which I'm having with you, I think the consistency and the discipline are the most important factors if you really want to crack PMP certification. Okay. So, I know that you have told us that it's just been a month only that you have completed your PMP certification. In this 1 month, did you see any change? Is it helpful in any of the term on in a daily basis when you're working on your project?
Yeah, it is definitely. It's an edge that you get over any other person who's at the same level in your project, right? Because the entire PMP revolves around people, process, and the business aspects, right? So these are the three categories, basically, broadly, the entire syllabus could be classified into, right? So broadly, you get nuanced with the entire project cycle. How do you manage conflicts? How do you deal with people? How do you deal with situations for that matter? The real life business problems, be it IT, be it any other field as well, right? It is something that's very global and can be applicable everywhere. So you get a better nuances and an understanding of what is happening, right? Any situation, how can it be tackled, right? So that is something I think is very helpful for somebody who's in delivery, basically, who's into project management. I mean, just go for it. I would just suggest that.
Okay. So, Sanchita, before we wrap up today's discussion, any words of wisdom for the folks who are PMP aspirants and will be watching this video?
I mean, if you talk about that, probably one thing, just know what you want to do. So you should be well prepared in your head that you come with a mindset that you have to qualify the exam. And you should have a reason of why you need to do it, right? Because till the time there's no driving force towards your goal, definitely you will lag behind. So why to this should be very much clear. After why comes how, and that is something we've thoroughly discussed in the session, right? How do you make it happen? Third one is dedicatedly sticking to a schedule that you make, because you cannot be randomly preparing for something. You need to have a timeline and achieving those minimum targets within those timelines. Else, it can be a journey of a year or two as well for people if you do not have a defined time that I have to clear this certification by so and so timeline. So that's something, I mean, if that works out for people.
Yeah, definitely. I'm pretty sure, with the given information around how to prepare for PMP and what all did you do while you were preparing for PMP, I'm pretty sure people will get some of the other, information from that. So, yep, that is it, Sanchita. Thank you so much. It was nice having you and sharing your experience around your PMP certification. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nisha. My pleasure. Bye bye. Take care.
Yep, goodbye.